Hi everyone, Bernard here with the latest Citizen vlog. It's a city present today. I think I don't do these very often now. I'm doing my quizzes and various things for you. But this is just a little bit of an update. I'm only going to do these if and when something important happens in football. And obviously yesterday, what I'm going to talk about today is obviously the start of the German league. I'm going to look at that. I'm going to look at the what we call the new normal, which has been obviously the byword now, isn't it? And obviously I'm going to have a quick look through social media and hopefully a couple of things that might cheer us up at the end of that. A couple of little jokes that I did find quite funny or ironic really at this time. But yeah, so please join me for this. Please, if you're new to the Citizen vlogs, push the old subscriber button there, push the bell notifications and set your notifications to public so you know when these little vlogs etc coming out. And as I said, I'll have a quick summary at the end of the stuff I've been doing if you've missed any of it, or if you're new, please, there's lots of stuff out there for Manchester City fans and football fans in general, I think. Anyway, so let's just quickly start. I'm not going to go on for too long today, and there's a lot of other people doing other things on this virus situation. I was on another fans vlog last week talking about going forward and what we're perhaps going to do. I might touch on that a little bit briefly. Anyway, obviously the German league started yesterday. Obviously I've been looking at on social media. I'll state this clear now. I have no interest whatsoever in the German league before this. I had no interest last year. 10 years ago or whatever. I've seen the odd snippet, watched the Dortmund fans and things like that. I have no interest in zombie chanting at the best of times, which a lot of these German fans do anyway. So I've no interest in that total drone and constant rubbish that they spout out off the pitch. On the pitch, I've no real interest unless it's a City player who's come from Germany. I might have a little watch of what's going on. And obviously we've got links obviously with Angelino at the moment, have we? And she's nice to see Haaland playing as well. Obviously, I watched his dad many times, and it'd be lovely to see him at City at one day. Obviously, he's scoring lots of goals, isn't he? But yeah, I've no interest in it. So I'm not, people saying who are you going to support now the German league start. I know some guys have got all excited and are watching it, and one of the guys I follow obviously does a lot of bets. Does bets, so he's quite happy because at least he got another football league to bet, put bets on and offer advice on bets on. But I used to be a betting man. I'm certainly not at the moment. I may get into it again one day, but just not at the moment. Yeah, so it's no real interest to me. So I'm not going to support anyone. Watching the snippets, as I said, without watching the games themselves, watching the snippets on the internet and watching the speakers obviously announcing things and the sort of canned atmosphere, etc. It's a little bit worrying, isn't it? Because I certainly don't want to. If this is the Premier League, for instance, comes back as this thing, obviously we'll go on to the new normal, won't we? But if we come back to the Premier League, will I watch it? I would say probably yes. Will I enjoy it? Probably no. Obviously, I'm going to support my team, whether it's from home, etc. I will support my team. But if this German league is a forerunner of what's going to happen with the English Premier League, I don't know, even to finish off. My thoughts. I've probably shared my thoughts on my own little channel as well as other people's. The season finished when this finished, and that's always I've had my Player of the Year ratings, etc. Whatever happens now. Obviously from the games yesterday, someone will probably tell me, did the form teams carry on being the form teams? Were the teams that were doing well before this break do just as well yesterday? I have no idea. I say I've not a lot of interest in it, but that's one thing that interests me, because at the end of the day, once this season finished, once players stopped playing, once there was no training, once there was nothing happening, everything's changed psychologically, physically. The whole season's changed, so I'm afraid this season is a write-off for me. So even if they try and finish it, I won't be really inspired by it all. I certainly won't be watching. I was watching the Dortmund players doing their old, where they used to hold hands and wave to the bank. That bank they have the yellow wall, is it there at there? But it'd be funny if it wasn't so sad, wasn't it? It was certainly funny at Millwall when obviously City players did it when City fans were banned from Millwall. That was funny, celebrating in front of the fans and etc. That was fun. That was gallows humour. That was funny, but I just don't see the point yesterday. I believe there was 322 people in attendance inside the ground to run the game, of which about 70 odd were to do with VAR, I believe. So 1/5 virtually of the numbers who involved the players and obviously all the background staff, all the backroom staff, etc. So there's 322 people involved. And over 70 for VAR. I mean, I have no idea. I mean, surely 2 or 3 will do for VAR. I have no idea what the reason is before that. I was hoping VAR might be scrapped anyway and put in the dustbin of British football. I'm still hoping, fingers crossed, that might happen anyway. But no, I mean, I believe even the guys who did watch had to suffer McManaman and a lot of people, McManaman again. So even the TV companies don't learn, do they? They don't learn from these crises to get rid of the idiots that they have commentating on the games. Never mind anything else. And I believe McManaman was coming up with his usual garbage. So, I'd rather turn the sound off and, it'll be no different, will it? Turn the sound off, that's just how it is. So, perhaps, do I want to hear the players swearing? Who knows what's next? The player's going to spit. I wouldn't be surprised. Nothing surprises me in this world. I don't think it should be going on. I think they should be just... I can see the Germans trying to do something. Obviously, they're trying to get the old publicity as well, aren't they? The German league. They're trying to get something out of this. Is it to do with money? Perhaps I'm being a bit of a skeptic there. Perhaps, but Germany want a few more followers, don't they? So... But it was never the greatest football when I watched German football. So good luck with that, lads. Anyway, but as I say, it certainly wasn't for me. And if this is the new norm, I don't know. I mean, will I watch if they bring it? As I said, I probably will watch. But I mean, what happens? Do you lock your players up for a year? I mean, if getting onto the serious side of it, I mean, obviously where I work, we're talking at least 12 months of social distancing. So if there's 12 months of social distance, that mean that, if they're going to play the end of this season and the rest of next season, it's going to be behind closed doors. Because obviously that's social distancing. You can't have fans in the place. The only thing with the German league, I was told that a lot of the fans, there was no fans outside the ground, so we were a bit worried, weren't we, that idiots turning up. But I mean, that's Germany, perhaps a bit more sensible there. I mean, I imagine our fans trying to turn up at certain grounds, etc., neutral grounds or whatever. But apparently there was no real... I've not seen anyway. That was just one comment I saw, that fans weren't turning up outside the grounds, which is a good thing. But do I want to watch all next season, with no fans in it? I don't know. What can the players do? They're going to lock them up? Are they going to take the families off to somewhere where they can spend time with the families and go to the game? But again, they're mixing with people they don't mix with. So I don't know. I just don't want it to happen. I don't want any of my players, I don't want any football players of any team taking part in these games. There's a chance they could take home and actually, their families could be affected, the young children, the wives, etc. could be affected. I just don't want it happening. I just don't want I don't want football to start again in any way whatsoever. So, as I said, I don't want it. If it happens, then fair enough, I will have to go with it, because the new normal, obviously we're talking about social distancing, the new normal will be playing football in empty stadiums. So it's a bit like the future, isn't it? And I've seen many sci-fi things where sports are played and obviously everything's done on TV. There's no actual crowds there watching the sport. I mean, even back to the old Star Treks, gladiator games and things like this. That's the new normal. I don't think it'll be long. I think a lot of people fall out with it. A lot of people have already said they're not going to do it. So a lot of people are going to fall out with that, aren't they? So that is a big worry. And if football does ever return, what state will City be in? I don't think City are going to be in a great state. We need a few changes. We're in a bit of a funny predicament at the moment. People like David Silva are saying they're going to sign an extension in the hope of playing the Champions League. The Champions League game against Real Madrid apparently has been penciled in for the 7th of August. Well, good luck with that for the second leg. I mean, I did have my ticket for that, but obviously I would presume I'll be getting a refund. We'll go on to that in a moment. But yeah, that's been penciled into the 7th of August. But David Silva, and that, all respect to David Silva, he wants the chance to still win that Champions League, but will it be the same? Probably not. I mean, I just don't know. It's all part of this. Why bother? Why even do the thing? So, yeah, Pep going forward. What's Pep going to do? Is he going to stay? I can't see any point in Pep seeing out his contract and that's it. What's it mean for City? We're not going to be able to buy any players under whatever the circumstance. We've got the added problem of if Pep's leaving, which you got to convince players to come. The project, who's going to be taking over? So unless Pep says he's going to stay for another 2 years on top of his year left on his contract, I just can't see the point. I just think City we're going to struggle, to be honest with you, in this new world. Every team's going to struggle. I just think City are in a bit of a trickier situation, some of the teams. I mean, look at teams like Newcastle. I mean, they're in quite an unusual situation. Teams like that, very, very unusual. And the only thing I think is Liverpool will probably not suffer so much. I think Liverpool will carry on regardless, because psychologically, mentally, this obviously the fans have suffered this, and the doubts about whether they'll be awarded the Premier League and will the Premier League carry on. But I just think it'll galvanise Liverpool. I think Liverpool will do really well, and I can't see anyone really competing with Liverpool at the moment, unless, as I say, City actually confirm that Pep's going to stay for another couple of years after his contract's another 3 years, and at least it'll give us a base to work on. But again, if that's in empty stadiums, why bother? Yeah, so that's my little thoughts on the German league. Let me know what you think about the German league, and whether you'll be watching it, and you have been watching it. I know certain guys. I've got a great guy I follow on Twitter who's obviously into all that sort of thing, and he loves German football. So I think Ian Cheeseman's a fan of Schalke, isn't he? So I'm sure Ian Cheeseman. But it'd be nice to know what they think. It'd be interesting to see Ian Cheeseman's vlogs, whether he likes what he's seen on the German football. Those people who've got an interest, it'd be interesting to hear what they have to say on Twitter, and obviously I'll retweet anything that I find useful. But the new normal, if it's social distancing for 12, 18, because let's face it, a cure, even if they get a vaccine, it has to be tested, and I've heard things that it takes 12 to 18 months normally to test a vaccine, and they're going to take a risk and chance that this vaccine might kill more people in the long term by rushing it out before they should do. So if the vaccine will take 12 to 18 months once they found it, which we haven't, we're talking 2-3 years. So the new normal is a little bit worry, isn't it, as far as football concerned? And say football doesn't really matter much anyway, does it, at the moment? I've been lucky enough that my own family's okay at the moment, but sadly my fiance's dad died from the COVID virus. An elderly gentleman, but it doesn't make any difference, does it? So obviously that's happened obviously since I last spoke to you, and that's the important side of it. That's all that matters at the end of the day. Football doesn't matter, does it? It doesn't really matter. Anyway, we'll sort that out. And my love to anyone who's lost friends or relatives over the last few weeks because of this horrible thing, and for any reason. I mean, still, it's not just COVID out there, there's other things still going on, sadly. Anyway, just a quick look at Twitterverse. Yeah, I mean, on Facebook, Twitterverse and Facebook. Yeah, Facebook have cracked down, didn't they, on the anti-social fake news campaign against Manchester City. But we're all paranoid, aren't we? So that was an interesting thing to read a week or two ago. I mean, obviously, Danny Rose has commented that he don't give a FUCK about the nations and morale and bringing football back, and I'd probably echo that sentiment as well with Danny Rose, and I think a lot of players are saying the same, because, and I don't know if any German players have refused to play. I've no real interest, or what's it. You let me know. But has that happened in Germany? If any player said, "Look, I'm not playing," I don't know. I've not heard that any have. So perhaps when it comes down to it, the players will play. I'm not too sure. We've got the season card refunds. I mentioned the Real Madrid game before, didn't I? And the refund for the ticket. Obviously, we've got the season card refund. So you get 6/19 of your normal season card. I think the 93.20 guys get 6/22 of theirs. I have no idea how they work that. I'm not posh enough to be in the 93.20, but we'll get 6/19, and that's all going to be done before mid-June, and we don't have to do anything. It gets done, which is absolutely fantastic. It'd be everyone. They don't want thousands and thousands ringing up. Yes, I'll have the refund. It's best to not do anything to get it, isn't it? So that's always the best option. It's always a safer option. Like with renewing season cards, in theory, you don't have to do anything. Although I did make a mess one season by trying to do something without realising, and it cocked everything up. But there you go. Yeah, we talk about playing games with no tackling. Just a little bit of humour from at Warren MCFC, who did comment that he said he still bet that the Scousers will still get penalties even if we play without tackling. So, bit of fun there. Obviously, the Champions League against Real Madrid, 7th of August. Well, good luck with that one, lads. And of course, League Two voted to end the season early, pending the approval from the EFL and the FA. Well, again, good luck with that, lads, I suppose. But top three promoted, no relegation. But they're going to have playoffs. So, as I say, that's the problem, isn't it? I think the season should be nil and void and we'll start again from scratch, as though this season never happened. But I don't think that's going to happen. So I say that's my option. But too many problems in line with that. But there's too many problems with any decision they make, isn't there? That's a problem. There's no perfect thing. It was good to see Bruno Fernandes making the BBC Premier League team of the season, wasn't it? After he played 5 games for United, absolutely superb. It's still good to see. There's a lot of idiots out there and a lot of clowns out there. Just a couple of funny things. One a bit more ironic, really. I mean, it was a funeral directors. I mean, obviously we talk about sad things, but you do have to look sometimes, get something out of these things, don't you? It's W. Horton funeral directors. I don't know where they're based, but they had a big sign up in the window, "Thank you NHS," which is a little bit inappropriate. But again, if you're in the right mood, it's sort of gallows humour, isn't it? So that was a funeral directors. And someone, a little bit of thought, please. Have a little think before you stick these things in the window. And obviously, perhaps it's certain people's minds read things into it, but obviously... there you go. And the other thing was Prince Harry. I mean, it's good to see that Prince Harry's saying one of the things he misses is his grandmother's fruitcake. So one guy actually commented, the fruitcake is also known as Prince Philip. So there you go, a little bit of humour just to end the end of vlog there. Please check out my other vlogs. Started a new little thing called Moments in Time, and I'll look back at a certain thing. It may even be kicked off by a programme, it may even be kicked off by a player, it could be a match. And I sort of look back at that, an interesting thing. Obviously, I've looked at something involving Mike Summerby. I looked at something with Rodney Marsh, something with Malcolm Allison, where it's not necessarily where they ended at City, but something happened where obviously they either went on to, to put them in Rodney Marsh's cases. He was on the actual transfer list by City at the time, but obviously he went on to stay. So just little things, little moments in time. So putting them out there in the Citizen vlog, Citizen Pass. So please keep your eye out for them, along with the quizzes and obviously my history of City, etc., etc. So there's lots of stuff. I've just done a recent thing on Vincent Kompany as well. How well do you know Vincent Kompany in Manchester City? So please check out in the playlists. I'm still doing these videos and vlogs on a phone at the moment. I've no laptop. I'm trying to save up for a decent one so I can do a better presentation for you all. So yeah, please check out in the playlist below all my little Citizen vlogs, quizzes, past and present, etc., etc. I'll do another one of these, when it becomes that something happens, obviously, if we hear anything, I'll do another City present, obviously. But I hope you enjoyed the one today. I tried to keep it to about 15 minutes, a little bit overran a little bit. My apologies for that. Anyway, please follow me on Twitter for all the latest City news. And if you're into movies as well, movies and TV dramas, I do lots of vlogs on movies and TV dramas. So you can follow me on Twitter at Charles Dineen, Dineen spelled DINNN, or on Twitter at nostalgia_movie. They're both sort of linked. Obviously, one's more film-based, one's more city-based, but they're both sort of linked anyway, so if you have an interest. I'm on Facebook at Burn Dineen with links to moviegamenostalgia.com. Is it there? A little website for old and rare if you want to buy stuff online, which is quite popular at the moment. I'm quite busy, but I can't restock, so I'm selling lots of stuff and running out of stock of things. So if you can go on moviegamenostalgia.com, my website, for old and rare DVDs, movie posters from the 1990s and 2000s. And old retro board games. Again, I'm tending not to buy those just because of the delivery problems rather than not being able to buy replacement stock, because obviously a lot of it's UK based anyway, but I just don't trust, I'm just not trust the post office at the moment. I've lost about a few hundred quid's worth of stuff at the moment that I don't know where it is, unfortunately, up to a grand's worth of stuff that I bought in stock and it's just disappeared and I don't know where it is. So, and I'm sure the suppliers have sent it, I just haven't got it. Anyway, thanks for watching today. Hope you enjoyed that. Let me know in the comments what you think on anything I've said. And as I say, to me, I'm not really interested in the German league, and I'm not really interested in the Premier League becoming the new normal and playing behind closed doors for how many months or years. I'm not really interested much in that either. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm going to do the rest of the day. Have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. Keep them close as you can. And please, let's all look after each other. And hopefully you'll join me again for something very, very soon. And hopefully a bit more lighter for most part. Anyway, thanks for watching. It's Bird saying goodbye for now. Thank you. Bye-bye.